in Gottlieb says here, what we know from brain research is that the brain can be rewired each generation. And actually what we actually do, to children does rewire their brains. And the human mind can actually change radically in just a few generations. So it's really interesting that now that we're finding this out from brain research, actually what we do actually does influence how the brain is wired and configured. So obviously what we do is very important because of this plasticity of the brain. So actually how we support children's imagination and creativity will wire their brains differently. So, going back to what I said this morning, this common thread of the storytelling animals have the need for story, and that adults and children are no different. We're just as human beings. But this, I'm going to draw much more on the practice now, which I think fits beautifully with the MA here, because it's the work of practitioners like this amazing woman that you may have heard of, Vivian Gussie Paley, whose work as 38 years as a kindergarten teacher really influenced my practice and how I work. She wasn't a theorist, she was just a brilliant practitioner doing research in her own classroom, but she's written lots of brilliant books. And I would really recommend rereading when Molly is 3. It's just so, it's fabulous, isn't it? So she says here, and this is from her practical experience. Imaginative play. The best conversations arise out of the children's own play and storytelling. So that's 38 years of practical wisdom. And I think, you know, it is that practical wisdom of the practitioner who's been doing it and steeps in it and knows children from practice that, you know, I really want to focus on. About practical wisdom from this concrete reality that you all work in with classes of small children who must be productively occupied in a relatively small space for several hours a day. So, how do we link it? And I think it's the nursery practitioner who can combine, which is what this course I think is really trying to do, the science and the theory with your own observations, but you have to bring that essential quality of listening. And it's not just listening with our ears, it's with our eyes and our, you know, our whole body, to what the children are trying to mean. Because I think what the research shows us is that primarily above all else we are meaning-making creatures. We want to make sense of why that kitten is flying, you know, right from the word go. So, story, as I said before, it gives you that emotional engagement. And so good stories always do that. And this is again Vivian Paley. So I've been looking at, the research I've been doing is looking at the use of fairy tales with very young children to see what she says, how it stimulates the imagination, enlarges vocabulary, extends narrative skills, encourages new ideas. And she says by the time they're 4, they can identify and debate many of the issues that are hidden in these stories. So, I think what I'm seeing more and more is young children starting that lifelong process of wondering, what does it mean to be human? We never finish that journey, do we? We're still asking those questions, and they're starting right from the word go. So I'm going to introduce you to the planning process of introducing a storytelling approach. So we've got a story play, and just as a child doesn't really understand hot unless they can understand cold, up or down, small or big, and we always put those in abstract, in binary opposites. The abstract binary opposites are really important, beautiful and ugly, real and magical. Where's the fantasy? Where's the awe and wonder to get that engagement? And how can we build in drama and role play? So those are the sorts of things that Egan says the pre-literate child is, these are their cognitive learning tools that we need to really play into. So, what do? You have to practice telling the story, because the key thing is it's oral storytelling. It's not with a book. It's actually doing it orally. And I have been, I don't know, surprised, disappointed that with all the nurseries I'm working with, very few of them feel confident enough to tell a story orally. It's not, there's very little oral storytelling. And they say the children can't focus on the book. No, well, no, of course they can't. The book's here, and they're there. And it's, you know, it's lovely one-to-one, one-to-two with a book, absolutely, but not for a small group of children or class. Then think about the role play that might go on. Like when I say the role play area that can be set up. Decide on what binary opposites you're going to focus on from the story. It's done it again.
Oh, yeah.
And then think about what problems can be solved if you want to be solved. And I'll illustrate all this. Which is me telling a story with 2-year-olds. So this is a flying start setting. One of these settings where they said the children have got no language. They definitely won't be able to sit for a story. So I'm doing a course with them on how to develop their storytelling, and they're saying, lovely, it won't work in our setting. You know, and I say, okay, let's go and have a look. So I want you to think, what do you observe? And remember to try and think about Eden's ideas. What opportunities in the story is there for rhythm, pattern, rhyme, and repetition? Where can you use metaphor? What do you think are the binary opposites in the story? And where's the opportunity for language development? Let's hope this works. Things there. So just quickly have a little chat to each other in your pairs. Just to get used to thinking about those are the key things we're looking for when choosing a story.
I like the witch that was eating.
We retell that story every day, over 1 or 2 weeks. So every day we say to children, who wants to hear the story of the 3 billy goats for up? And the teachers are telling me nearly all the children go, yes! They're not meant to, but most of them want to. Then we act out the story. So we start acting it. In fact, in that little nursery where I just showed you, where transitions were a really big issue for them. With snack time, gathering them up like herding cats to get the snack. But now they do their goats and they trip, so they're using it for transition. Then create the role play area. So we put those artifacts, the puppets, and here we have a cardboard box and some green bean bags. And that's just there for them as a choice every day to go and play. And then planning some work with the identified binary opposites, which I'll show you in a minute, and introduce a problem to be solved. So this is them acting out the story there. I love the way that I didn't do goats. They did goats for themselves, being goats.
How old are these children?
Those are 3. So then observe the children in the role play area. Observe. Desperately try not to intervene. The teacher found it so hard not to intervene. See what's going on, keep some notes, have a look at what's happening. And this is that was after the very first telling of the story. We just set up the role play and said, who wants to go and play Billy Goat's Run? So these children went over to play. I can, yes, that. So have a look at what you think about what you would be thinking as you were watching this play.
Through it like you did, the billy goat.
Yeah.
The troll.
Yes.
She saw it and then waited for a reaction from other people, so she was trying out being really, really.
Bit louder, we can't hear you. What
I was
did
just
you
saying
say?
she threw the billy goat.
Oh, right.
The troll, sorry. She threw the troll, sort of trying out being the storyteller. And she looked around for a reaction for that moment and then kind of she sort of stepped in and out of the role.
Yes, and I like the way the little boys, help, help. Did you have help in the story? No. And this one, you're a cheeky boy. Yeah, you're a very cheeky boy. So they're actually bringing their own language to try out this story. So then, the next day, a letter arrived. I've got a letter. What do it's say? Very poor nursery. It's definitely for us. I wonder what's in it. Dear children, it's for you. The bridge over the river has collapsed, as you saw in that last video. The bridge was completely collapsed. We want to go back over the bridge. Can you help us build a strong bridge? From the Billy Goat's cry. Who wants to help make a bridge? Who'd like to help us make a bridge? Who's got some ideas? So they all wanted to help build the bridge. So they tried different ideas in different groups. They had toilet rolls they were trying to glue together, stick together, sellotape and glue everywhere. So they talked about it, and then the teacher suggested using like kitchen, from kitchen roll, bigger ones. It's a good idea, but I don't think they're big enough. And then she did introduce them to elastic bands that could be put around them, so they created the bridge. And this is role play a bit later in the week. So this is, I think, day 4. So you can see how the role play is changing just in a short time. Teacher, I like the way he goes in and out of role. Child, you're breaking our bridge. I'm a troll, stop breaking that bridge. And I'm the biggest Billy Goat gruff ever, so he's clearly stronger. The teacher sort of brought that back to the third next day. She said, we had a wonderful test of our bridge. Do you know, it's so strong. And she showed them that little video. So she turned it into an experiment. So rather than, she said she found it really hard not to intervene. We don't do that to the bridge, do we? Don't spoil that bridge. But wow, wasn't it strong? It was amazing. And letting them sort it out for themselves. So they're really thinking about who's strong, who's the strongest, who's allowed to do these things. So the binary opposites. What binary opposites do you notice in that story? Big and small? Okay, I'm thinking of more abstract concepts.
Good and evil.
Sorry? Yes?
Good and evil.
Good and evil? Goodies and baddies? Yeah. Sorry?
The nice characters, the bad characters, like the little one who's the
Little one.
Ooh, yeah, words and physical movement. Like one of the boys was speaking, the other one was bashing. So his communication was entirely physical, whereas the others were kind of more
Preceded by, I'm the biggest, strongest troll, goat of all, because I'm the big one. And the other one was saying, no, I'm the biggest, strongest. Well, I'll tell you, because these are the ones that we used. The first one we said was, brought them back onto the carpet. Who was stronger in the story? The billy goat or the troll? So we use a rope as an agree-disagree line. If you think the goat was the strongest in the story, you stand on this side of the line, and if you think it's the troll who's stronger, you stand on this side of the line. And the children split. So we're exploring this concept of strength. What do we mean by being strong? So this is for the transcript from the teacher. Why do you think the goat is stronger, she says to the children who are on the strongest side? Because he butted the troll into the air. Why do you think the troll is stronger? Because he's bigger. If you're bigger, does this mean you are stronger? They're all going. But, the billy goat was smaller than the troll. And he butted it into the air. I wonder how someone smaller can be stronger. So she's taking this, I'm really not sure about this. She's taking that I wonder stance, picking up from that role play where they're clearly trying to work out who is stronger here, this this goat or this troll. So let's think about that. So after that, they carry on with their role play. She starts to notice that they're exploring these concepts more. She sees it in the playground, where they start to talk about, I'm stronger than you because I'm bigger than you, and things like that. So then we decided to move it to look at clever and strong. So this is another day on the carpet. Think back to the story. What happened with the smallest billy goat gruff? He went over the bridge. He got the lushest grass. Lush is a big word in Wales. Lush it is. Now this I didn't like this question that she asked. I thought it was too much. But I think I have to be aware that she knows she's videoing it for me, and I think she wants to really. She's trying. She's really trying to. But they obviously. How would you describe the smallest billy goat gruff? It was like no responses. They don't know. Was he strong? No. He did trick the troll, didn't he? Do you think he was clever? Yes. Okay, so how do we explore that? So I arrived this day when they were doing it, they just decided whether or not they would you rather be clever or strong? So they put them, you can see, half of them had put on clever and half had put on strong. So they're starting to explore this concept now. Why would you rather be strong? I'm strong because I eat vegetables. You think you're strong because you eat vegetables. What can you do now you are strong? I can pick up lots of toys. Or I can pick lots of toys. You think you're strong because you can pick up lots of toys. Some of you would rather be clever. Why would you rather be clever? Because I can get dressed leaning by myself. You can hear the parent voice, can't you? If you can get dressed by yourself, then what a clever girl. You think you're clever because you can get dressed by yourself. And so, starting to, let's gather the children's opinions, let's stretch these concepts a bit with the children. So, I'm back now, I'm not going to play all of this, so this is me back on day 5 to tell the story again. Just watch a little bit how their response to the story now is really different. They were very similar to the other children the first time they saw it. Everyone's sitting very quietly, paying attention, looking. The little one with the glasses there. As I arrived, when she saw me, she hadn't seen me before. She came up to me and she went, I'm a 12, That's nice. So I'm now the 12-year-old lady. So you see, they're much more engaged in doing it, they're anticipating, they're joining in, much more difficult to manage, of course. So after this, I said to them, do you know what? That troll has come back. He's in the river. But he can't get up. He wants to get up and he can't get out of the river. He might drown. Shall we save him? Do you think we should save him? If you think yes, you stand on one side of my line. And if you think no, we shouldn't save him, stand on the other. And again, they were quite split in what they thought. So, this is, unfortunately, the teacher was recording it. She forgot to switch the thing on. So we got a little bit in, and I can't quite remember what happened. But one of them had said, we should help him and make him kind. So I said, why would you help him? To make him kind. That's basically what you meant. Oh, do you think if we help him, he'll be kind? Half of them, no, yes, there's lots of disagreement. So why don't you want to save him? He's a horrible troll, not kind. You don't think he'll be kind? No, because he's not kind, he's naughty. Do you think he can change and be kind? Or will he always be naughty? Naughty. What can we do to help him be kind? Play with him. That was lovely when a child said that. Play with him. That's marvellous. Oh, what if? What if is that? You know, Alison got mixed in. They've got it by 2. They can do these counterfactuals. What if we play with him? Will that make him kind? Now you take up the child's suggestion. That's very powerful for children. They've made a suggestion. You go, ooh, yeah, I wonder. You know, and you've got this suspense. You're suspending your own. Oh, I'm not sure. What do you think? They're genuinely being seen as working it out with us. Sure, yes. Oh, so does playing with people help them to be kind? Yes, and then I've got lots of examples of what they like to play. I like to play tag. I like to play that. I like to play that. I said, well, I wonder if we just think. What, 2?
Yeah.
Did I get my extra time? Because we didn't start.
We've got other people waiting.
Oh, right, okay. So, working with the small groups of children, starting with a question. This is our other aspect. So now taking them and getting them to philosophise. So we might start to talk about, do you think if we play with the child, you'll be kind? And just have little groups of 3 or 4 children. These are some of the other ones that I used with this class, which is another nursery class I was working with doing the gingerbread man. Scribing it, scribing what they say, and then taking it back to the circle and saying, well, do you know what, today they had these ideas, sharing the ideas, and doing that every day with a different group. What comes out of it, what's important here are binary opposites of friendship and fairness. They're always very interested in friendship and fairness. Right, I'm skipping that. So I wanted to say what stories should we use, and send you. These are the 7 plots. Remember the Christopher book of plots? So these are the stories we use over the length of the nursery reception, so that they're covering all the plots. Christopher Booker says these are the 7 narrative plots. If you get them steeped in that, they can write any story in the world by combining these plots. So then we have to think about what we're going to do, choosing stories, finding the abstract concepts, thinking about what emotions are in the story to explore, setting up the role play, giving them lots of props and puppets and dressing up to do their role play, doing a lot with metaphor, using things, the letters from characters for the problem solving. These are suggestions of different ones we've used with the different stories. And then the children write their own story. Well, you are the story spy, listening to and writing down their stories as they're playing and sharing with the class. This was 3-year-olds after Easter. We've been doing the Wizard of Oz actually for a year. So, once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess dictated to the teacher, to the teaching assistant. She lived in a castle and there was a prince and a witch. She came up and hurt the princess. The dragon was friendly. The dragon was friendly. The dragon killed the witch. The dragon rescued the princess. The princess went outside, went to the path, then back to the castle again. She took her coat and shoes off, put on her PJs, she danced with the prince. That was average. That was a very average. Every single child in that nursery had dictated stories. This particular week I went in, 11 children wanted to have their stories written down. This is, she would say, my best child. Okay. So once there was a little girl called Ellie, and her mother was very nasty. Her dad was called Misky, and her mum was called Donna. They also had a dog that was really smelly, and their dog was called Ben. Just then the almighty wind flew about the ground, and a dragon came. The dragon was red and had blue spots all over his body. His eyes were glowing and his nose purple. His horns were gigantic and peach, and his claws were brown. The little girl screamed, but then Becky came to help. She was the little girl's grandma. Becky jumped up onto the dragon's face and took the little girl out of his mouth. The dragon said, "Ah!" and cried. "You're He was only in disguise. He was actually a kind elf who was making a joke, and he didn't mean to scare anyone. Becky felt sorry for the dragon and said to him, "Please don't cry." They all became friends and they lived happily ever after as they walked to the park. Now, the teachers in St Luke's primary, I just showed them those. So what age do you think? They guessed between 5 and 7. I said dictated, not written. So these are the 3-year-olds. It's incredible. If you steep them in this storytelling curriculum approach, this is the kind. So they've already got beginning, middle, and end, rift, resolution. They've got narrative structure. And they're mixing it all up. And this little girl's clearly had a lot of Gruffalo and loads of stories read to her all the time. So it's got a lot of implications for literacy, or what some people might say, school ready. So that's, I'm going to just end it there.